There are a lot of options, so don't be intimidated by the midline and just play around with it. Welcome to the third episode of this 6-part mini-series of making a photobook dummy by the Rijksmuseum Creative. In this episode, we're going to start cutting in our pictures, creating new compositions, and putting nice pairs together. 2 photographs that communicate with each other. Therefore, we need a cutting mat, a ruler, and a knife. Kathy, in the last episode, we made compositions using the black sheets. Do you remember them?
Yes, of course.
Good.
Yeah.
Can you tell me again, what are we going to change in this photograph?
We're going to make the lines more straight, and we will try to cut off the stuff here that's distracting.
Yes. Okay, well, you can start cutting. Nice.
Yeah.
Okay. So what we're going to do now is we're going to find a pair for this picture. And maybe you can find a photograph that maybe is stimulating our imagination about what the children are reading or what they're dreaming about. So do you find something that could be fitting for the next page? I can remember you telling about a picture with the traffic sign.
Oh, you have a big one, yeah.
This one. Okay. And in the last episode, we made a different composition.
Yes.
So maybe we can...
I can cut it.
Cut it, yeah. Maybe
Okay.
put them on again to see before we cut one more time. Because this is an enlargement.
Yeah.
This feels about right.
Yeah. Okay.
If you're joining us at home and you do not have a cutting mat, you can also use a cutting board. And if you don't have a cutting knife, you can use scissors. But you just have to make sure that the lines that you cut are really straight, which is difficult with scissors. But if you're also like us making a sketch version of your dummy to later make into a digital book, it doesn't really matter if it's not that perfect. Okay, so what is happening here now is that when you open the book on this page, you can see the kids looking into comic books, and we can see a childlike image coming back on the next page. So they're communicating with each other.
Yeah.
Pick a picture that really needs to be into the book.
Yeah, maybe this one of the Golden Temple.
Yes.
But if I would put this in a book, the fold line will be exactly in the middle.
And
so how do I solve it? Yeah.
So what you can do in this situation, you can blow up your image. And if you blow up your image, you can shift the midline. You will lose a little bit information at the top and the bottom, so then you have to see if the composition is still nice. But sometimes it's not even that bad if the folding line is in the most important part of your image.
Okay.
So you can actually, maybe you should cut this one too.
Yes.
The midline in a spread can be very difficult to work with, but you can play around, like Ed van der Elsk is doing on this spread. 2 pages, and this horizontal image is cut half by the spread, but there's a space left, so you can play around with that. It doesn't need to be a full image on your spread. There are a lot of options, so don't be intimidated by the midline and just play around with it. Experiment, see what happens. Pick 2 other photographs that are quite communicating with each other.
We have this one communicating with, let's see.
I think I know which one you're going for.
This one.
Yeah.
It's still on there. Sorry, it's on the table. Yeah.
I would have chosen the same pair, but can you tell me why are they communicating?
Well, this is the picture of the Japanese taking pictures of my children dressed in their kimonos, but with their blonde hairs, of course. And this is the official one that I took myself, the pretty one.
Yes.
Yeah.
This one we are going to cut, so I'm going to give you the enlargement. So
really big. Yeah.
When you put two images like this together, two similar images, it's tempting to start with the beautiful portrait with the calm background and blow that one up on one page. But the other photograph has a lot happening in the background. There are buildings, people in the streets, you can see street signs. There's a lot to explore in the photograph. That's why it's maybe better to blow it up, because then as a viewer you have more time to really dive into the picture. Perfect.
Yeah.
So we have a lot of spreads to fill in your book. So I suggest that you maybe look for 2 more pictures, or maybe a group of 4 that communicate with each other, or just one is also possible. Look through your photographs, remember your story. It's about your pen and what do you want to tell the viewer when they open the book and go through the pages.
Oh, well.
Earlier I mentioned the difficulty of the midline in a spread. This is an example of a spread made by Ed van der Elske. And what Ed did here is he used 2 pictures, not next to each other, but on top of each other. This is a beautiful way to play with your spreads, and it shows that there are many possibilities to play around with your photo books. There's no right way, as long as there is a balance and a story in your book. Just keep in mind that you focus, you have a red thread, and you play around a lot. So, how did it go?
Okay, it went okay. It's difficult to select, but I think these 3 pictures belong together.
Maybe it's a little bit too much of the color white and just things happening, little things happening. So in order to create a little bit balance, we could put these 2 together, because it's the top and the bottom. And maybe this one can have a whole spread. You can play around with that. So if you have one page, you flip over and then you see more context or more details.
Okay.
All right.
That's a good idea.
Well, this is the end for today. In the next episode, we're going to focus on creating spreads, double pages, and we're going to design them with our photographs. Kathy, this was fun.
Yes, it was.
I see you in the next episode.